The last process that I'm going to go through in this module 21 is a look at the mixed method. Now the mixed method, just like it says, is a combination of the level process and the chase process. Now in this method, your authors have chose to remove or make the labor force smaller. We had started at 100 in the level method. Now we're going to use 25. And each of those 25 workers can produce 40 pairs of skis per month. So as a consequence, the most skis that they could produce in any given month is 1,000, that 40 times 25. Now I think what you'll know, and I don't know if this is just a happy coincidence or something else, but you know, we've got labor that can meet this minimum level of 1,000, and so I don't know that there's anything to that. It does save some work later. You know, we don't have to lay anybody off. So I figure that's got to be one of the reasons we did that. Okay. Well, I can only produce 1,000 skis. I need 9,000. So how am I going to produce the 8,000 shortfall? Well, some of it I'm going to use overtime. So the overtime, well, what I've done is say, I know from the prior page on levels, back over here, that I can only use 500 units of overtime, or I can produce 500 pairs of skis using overtime labor in any given month. That's my maximum. So here's what I've got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, let's say I need 9,000 minus 1,000 pairs of skis. Is that smaller than my 500, the maximum I'm able to produce? Well, in this case, 8,000 is not smaller than 500. So in overtime, the people I already have hired, my 25 people, are going to be working overtime the entire month. In fact, they're going to be working overtime every month but the month of July, where the difference between 1,000 and 1,000 is 0, which is smaller than 500. Then I have these other minimums as well. So again, what am I doing? What I'm doing is saying, okay, I've got 1,000 skis I can produce using regular time, but I have a shortfall here. That's the D3 minus E3. There's 8,000 skis I need to produce, but 500 is the most that I could ever produce. And is 500 less than 8,000? The answer is yes. So I'm maxing out my overtime in each of these time periods until I get down to July and August. All right. Well, this means that I only have 1,500 skis being produced by my labor force, which leaves me with 7,500 skis to be outsourced. So my outsourcing is the number of skis I need minus what my own labor force is producing, which gives me the 7,500. So I can copy that down. Notice there's 1, 2, 3 months where I don't have to outsource, but all the other months I've got to outsource the production of my skis. All right. Well, each of these categories in step 1 generates a cost in step 2. So in step 2, the cost associated with the regular time, well, what do I have to pay for regular time? Regular time pays $300 per pair of skis. While we're here, may as well get the overtime. The overtime is $360. Subcontracting cost is $420. So I go back. So regular, I could produce 3,000 pairs of skis at $300 a pair. So that's levels, that's going back and picking up the 300. The mixed, that's picking up the 1,000. So notice this absolute reference in the levels. So this is the level part. I am paying my workers $300,000 a month. Okay. And then I'm paying them for overtime. Well, let's see. Back on this page, I have to pay $360 per pair of skis for overtime. So there's my 360, that's the D4, the absolute reference, times the 500 pair that I've got to produce using overtime. So work my way down this column and I can calculate the amount I'm going to have to pay out for overtime. Well, now subcontracting. Subcontracting costs me $420 per pair of skis. So in this equation, I go back to the levels tab and I pick up the payment per pair of skis for subcontracting and I multiply it by the number of skis I need. So that would be 420 times 7,500. So I work my way down and I figure out what are my costs for subcontracting in order for me to meet my demand. So how is this level? It's level in that my labor force is never changing and I do pay them overtime. How is it chase? Well, I'm not holding any inventory. Any shortfall that I have from my 9,000 demand in January, for example, I have to fill by outsourcing. So I have each month the cost, which is just the sum of my regular time, overtime, and subcontracting. So every month, that same set of costs. All right, now this last one is the sum of my monthly costs. Or, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, I could have added across this direction. I'd have gotten my 18,404,000 as well. 408,000, excuse me. So this mixed method in this particular case is the most expensive method. 18,408,000 in order for me to meet my annual demand. But at least now I know, right? I've gone and I've checked. I've done a level process. I've done the chase method. I've done this mixed method. Oddly enough, in this one particular example, this chase method generates the lowest possible cost. So that's the mixed method. Hopefully it makes sense. And if not, maybe I guess look through this again and see the differences. The level, which is here, and the chase, which is here. There's that combination. All right, thank you.